First off, I wanted to say Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you for joining the webinar today. We're going to be focusing on Order and Navigator based off the transition of everyone going off of Webstore over to Navigator. So yeah, let's get started. So to introduce myself, my name is Jacqueline Pierce. I am the Navigator Sales Specialist. So I support our Johnson Controls control products offering on the Navigator platform across North America for all channels. So I'm located here in Milwaukee, sit right next to our customer service, our tech support team, and within the same building as most of our Navigator team. So it makes it really convenient to basically help move the needle and get things done by able to work with all the people in one place. So just some housekeeping. If you do have any questions during the webinar, feel free to type it in that questions box on the right-hand side of your screen. We'll do our best to answer all of them either during the webinar or after. All of the webinars that I've been doing are getting recorded. So we will be sending out a recording of the webinar to everyone, as well as a frequently asked questions PDF to everyone as well. So stay tuned for that. But if you have any questions, feel free to type them in that box on the right-hand side. So for a brief agenda of what we're going over today, we're going to start off with what is Navigator for those of you that maybe this is a brand new tool, or a reminder for everyone else that has been on it before. The differences between Webstore and Order Navigator. We'll go over a reminder of the official shutdown date of Webstore, how everyone is going to be getting access to their Navigator accounts, and then we'll jump into a live demo of Order Navigator itself, which is going to be the main highlight of this webinar. We'll then go into some Q&As, and then to wrap it up, we'll go over a couple of future webinars that I will be giving and some resources for all of you. So to start off, what is Navigator? Navigator is an online cloud-based partner portal. This exciting tool is not brand new. It's been around for a while, and it really helps you get the job done faster and easier. You're able to do a whole lot just from your browser by able to browse products. You can collaborate with others and build projects. And then what we're going to be focusing on is how to order that product within that tool as well. I honestly think it's just as intuitive as ordering from your favorite retail store, being able to browse that product and then order it all in the same spot. As you can see, it's not a new tool. We already have over 6,800 active users and growing. So definitely something to keep in mind, that there are a lot of people that are already using this tool, and it is a good one. So just a couple of screenshots to see right here of what the tool looks like if you have yet to be in it. I will be jumping into this in the actual live demo, but just wanted to show everyone what it does look like. So you're going to have your applications right on that home screen with the applications that are available to you if you hover over that Applications tab at the top. Something that I do like to note is that you'll see a bunch of those that say if you want access to these, to ask your system admin, and a lot of those are for our equipment customers. So when I am signing up everyone up, I'm making sure that they get access to all the applications that they would need access to. So if you do have a question on something and you're not sure if you should have access to it or not, feel free to reach out to your account manager, and we can work together to make sure that you have everything. So difference between Webstore and Navigator, the main reason why we're here. So Webstore had the ability to build an address book. You could do your quick, easy price and availability, and you could order and then track those POs. In Navigator, you're able to do the same exact thing and more, which is pretty great. That's why we're trying to switch everyone over to the tool. So you're able to do quick quotes. So let's say you wanted to price up a couple of parts, but you want to save it for a future order. You are able to save that in the tool and then go back to it and eventually order those parts. You can do a mass upload, which I'll be going over. And then my favorite part of the tool is this My Favorites list, where you're able to create lists by your favorite customer, applications, product line, whatever it may be, and save that for quick and easy price and availability, and then order all in one spot. So I'll be going into all of those in the live demo, but just wanted to call out some of the really exciting things that you can get on Navigator. The big thing that I think everyone really wants is, how do I get that quick, easy price and availability? And the answer is, you really have a couple of options depending on what you're trying to do. So we'll jump into all of these, but we have part search on the top. If you can search just by a part right there. The My Favorite section right in that middle after you set up that list will be right when you log into that Order Navigator application. And I'll show you how you would go in and set those up and whatnot. If you move to the right-hand side, you'll see a spot for mass upload. I'll show you how to do that as well. But if you're doing a whole bunch of parts, very easy to add a whole bunch of parts to your cart with one Excel sheet. And then on that bottom there is quick order. So if you know your part numbers already and you want to quick add those to your cart and then eventually see that price, that quick order is going to be your best spot to quickly add a bunch of parts to your cart. So like I said, we'll jump into how to get into all those and how they work in the live demo, but just wanted to show that you have a lot of options for that price and availability right when you log into that Order Navigator application. So just a reminder, the shutdown date is January 31st. Everyone should have received this email from me at the beginning of December, and I've been holding a bunch of webinars, this being the third one, to go over Order Navigator. So if you do have anyone that was not able to make the two that I had last week or today, we do have one more that will be on Wednesday. So be sure to have them register for that webinar. So I think the biggest thing that I've really received emails is, how do I get a Navigator account? What do I need to do? So I am working on setting up all those accounts myself. I am sending out emails after you either have a new account access, or maybe you already have an account, but you don't have Order Navigator access yet. So I'm making sure that everyone has an account and is given Order Navigator access that was on Webstore. So if I haven't emailed you yet, I appreciate your patience. I am working on sending all those out. So yeah, but that first time that you log in, just to be clear on how you do, which it will send, I'll send this in my email as well as the email that you will receive from Navigator. Your username is always going to be your email with a .hn at the end. And the really nice thing about the tool is, if you forgot your password or even the first time you're logging in, all you have to do is click that forgot password, and it will send a link to reset your password right to your email. Makes it super easy if you do forget, but just something to keep in mind for everyone. So again, sending out emails to everyone as I create the accounts and give access for Order Navigator. So really do appreciate your patience while I am working on that. All right, so now we're going to jump into the live demo of Order Navigator. So if you're looking at my screen right now, after I log in to Navigator, you're going to see a page like this. As you can see at the top right here, I have a thing called My Favorite Apps. And this is something that I went and set up and basically favorited them, and I can show you how to do that. But it shows up right on my home screen when I log in, rather than having to go, if I hover over this Applications tab, you'll see applications available to you. So I would definitely recommend coming in here and favoriting a couple of the applications that you would really like to use. Offering Catalog is another great spot that I will be holding future webinars on for that holds our product documentation and is another way that you can do price and availability. But we're really going to be focusing on that Order Navigator application today. So if you don't have it on your home screen as a favorite like I do, what you're going to do is you're going to go to that Applications tab and then go over to Order. So once you're in that order, as you can see, if I scroll down, so there's this green star right here. So if I click that, it will remove it from my favorites. And then if I hover over it again, it says, do you want to add this to favorites? So what I would recommend to everyone is making sure you go in here and add that to your favorites, so that every time you log into Navigator, it will be right there on that home screen for you, making it a lot easier to jump right into the application. So we're now going to jump in to the application, and it will open it up as a new tab, just something to keep in mind. And as you can see, I want to start off at this top portion just to explain all of that. But looks just like I had in a couple of those screenshots where you're having your part search, my favorites, mass upload, and quick order all right there when you first log in, making it super easy for you. So something that I would definitely focus on is that if you're somewhere deep into something, don't really know how to get back, and you want to come back to this home screen, press this Johnson Controls logo, and it will always take you right back to this screen, right back to that home page of Order Navigator. So just something to keep in mind if you want to come back to this after looking at a part, whatever it may be, always come back to this logo and it'll take you right back here. If I move over, we have both of our phone numbers for US and Canada customer service. So if you do have a problem or want to look up something and want to push something out with customer service right away, if you're looking at an order or price availability and want to confirm something, you can go ahead and call the customer service line within their hours, and they'll get you an answer right away on all of that. If I move over, we see order history. So this order history button you can also access in this My Account spot. And it's basically just a faster way to jump into all of your past orders. And it's going to be all of your past orders across your account. So not just orders that you have placed, but basically any orders that are placed on your account are going to pop up right there. As I scroll over, this is going to be My Account. We're going to be focusing on here, but this is where you'll see that holds a whole bunch of information on your account. And then as you can see, this last one up here is your cart, just another way that you can jump in to see how many items you have in your cart. So we'll jump into My Account now. So as you can see, there's a couple of tabs here on the top, and we'll go into each of those, but just wanted to go through each one as we're clicking through. So this first one is My Profile, and it's going to be basically what is in our pricing system and ordering system here in Milwaukee is the information you should see here. So the billing address of your account, phone number, the shipping address, and then all the user information in here. There's also a spot in here that's graying out, but definitely something you should go look at where it basically says, okay, I want to receive emails on order statuses and all that. I would definitely go in and come in. I don't know why it's not showing up, but would definitely come in and click save and change that for your account if you do want to get certain email notifications on order status. So if I come up to this next tab, Manage Address Book. So this address book is going to be something that is shared across your account. So let's say one of you enters an address, it will show up on someone else's account if they have access to this account as well. So just something to keep in mind that this will be shared across the account, so you don't have to worry about multiple addresses for the same company getting entered. It should automatically upload. And it is very easy to add addresses in here. I can show you real quick. And if I click save, so what it's going to ask is it's going to be like, are you sure you want that address, or would you like to use a different address that is selected right here? And you can either say yes or keep the address that you have and then add that, and it will automatically add that to your address book right here. So I've had a couple of questions asked on if I had an address book saved in Webstore, will that reflect over it in Order Navigator? Unfortunately, it does not. So you will have to have someone come in here and create all the addresses that you would need in that address book. So just something that I would definitely sit down, add all the addresses that you would need that you use all the time, but they will not transfer over from the Webstore application. So this next tab is called My Carts. And this is what I was talking about on if you price up a bunch of parts, but you're not ready to order them yet, what you can do is basically save them as a quote or for a future order if you would eventually like to order them. So definitely something to keep in mind if you do price up a bunch of parts and you want to label that, whatever it may be for that customer, and they eventually order them, you can keep that right here where you can then save it, and it will basically open this up into your cart and use for the future. So I'll show how to create a quick quote when we add some parts to our cart. So this next tab is going to be My Orders, and this is what I was talking about for this order history button at the top here is going to take you right to this tab in one click. So you're not having to come into my account and then jump to the My Orders tab. This order history will take you right here right away. As you can see, don't have any orders on this account, but you're able to search by order status, when you place the order, where you shipped it to. If you want to search an order for a specific part, you're able to search right here for that as well. Ship complete, recently viewed, and you can export all of these as an Excel file. So just something to keep in mind, that if you do want to search a couple of them, you're able to export that out and save that or send that out, whatever you would want to do. So this next tab is going to be My Favorites, which is my favorite part about Order Navigator. It's really, really cool. So you're able to come in here and create a favorite within the tool and do it by whatever you may need. These favorites will then show up on that home screen of Order Navigator, but you're able to go by different customers. Maybe they order the same parts all the time, or by a product line that you have, and you can set those up all right here. If I jump in here, I had this question come up. Let's say you added a part, maybe you didn't mean to add that part to that favorite. You can come in and delete it from this section right here after you click into that actual My Favorites, I guess, favorite. I don't know how you would say that. You can also add it to your cart right here. Definitely a little harder coming into my account than to My Favorites to add it. It's going to be a lot easier adding it on that home screen, but just something to keep in mind that you can do that from right here. So from here, we're going to jump back out. So remember, this logo takes it to the Order Navigator home screen. And we'll start off with this box at the top left. So this part search is really, really nice. So let's say you know the full part number, you only know part of a part number. You can search for product just right here in this top section. And if I wait long enough and type a couple, it will actually come up with options on part numbers that maybe I was thinking of. But let's say I didn't necessarily know which one of those I wanted to do. I could just hit enter. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull up any part that has TEC 3630 in that part number. So if I scroll down, I can see all the different options of what has TEC 3630 in it. I can then click. So right here, you can either add it to your cart right away. You can add it to a favorites list right here. But what I'm going to focus on is, so if I click this, it will then pull up this part number. And it will have the part number, your weights. It will either show the actual quantity that is available on hand, or it will say to contact customer service for that availability. It will have the lead time, number of business days, your list price, and your net price. And you're able to add this to your cart right away from just here. You can also change your quantity right here as well. So you can easily add that to your cart, and it will pop up, as you can see right here on the right-hand side of my cart. So definitely an easy way to do quick price and availability to add this to your cart and whatnot, but definitely a good spot if you know the full part number, if you don't, to either use either of those to find your price and availability. So we're going to jump in, we'll go back to that home screen, show a different part. So if I look to the middle now, this is what I was talking about on that My Favorites section. So on this home screen, when you log in, you're actually able to toggle between, if you can see, as I did that drop down, which My Favorites I want to look at. So let's say I didn't want to look at product line ABC, but I wanted to look at this customer's preferences and add parts from that instead. I could come there and it will show me all of the parts that are listed under that. If I were to have more than 25 parts for that customer preference, I could change how many that it's showing. But as you can see, I only have 2. So I can then change the quantity right here and add that to cart right away, just from right here. If I know that I want to order those parts, it's a product that my customer buys all the time, I can save it right here. So it's definitely something that I would 100% go in and add some of your favorite parts that you add or that you purchase all the time, just to make it a lot easier for you adding them to your cart and whatnot. You can also minimize this if you don't want to look at it, but just something to keep in mind. So I'm going to show everyone now how to save your cart as a quick quote. So what I did is I went into that view cart. So from here, in this view cart, so what you can do is you can change your quantity, you can delete a part out, but it will show you all of, like, as you can see with this thermostat down here, there's 152 available of that part number. So really nice that it does pull in some of that. If we do have a part available on hand, it will show that right here. But as you can see, either you can continue shopping, let's say you added more parts, you can update it, you can delete it completely if you don't want it anymore. But if you look to this green button says save as quote. So let's say I wasn't necessarily ready to purchase these parts, but I wanted to save them to later purchase them. What I can do is save as quote, and you can save it as a specific name, whether that's for a customer that wanted to purchase it later. I can just easily add this quote on my screen to purchase later and save that. And what it's going to do then is it will take all those parts outside of my cart and then hold it in this my cart. So as you can see, my cart went to 0 items. And if I come to my carts, which is under my account, it now has that quick quote saved for future purchasing. If I want to eventually buy that, all I would have to do is click this my cart and we'll add all those parts back to my cart, and then I can check out like I normally would. So definitely something to take advantage of if you don't want to purchase parts right away. So I'm going to go back to that home screen of Order Navigator, and the next thing that we're going to jump into is this mass upload. So this mass upload template is going to basically pull open a file for you to enter all the parts that you would need, and you can upload it right here. But what I'm going to show you some of the parts that I have added to my sheet before we go into it. So look at the sheet. So if I look at this sheet, I have some errors in here just to show everyone what happens if I do have an error in my file. So I have some old parts. I have a part that's entered wrong as a part number, and then some other parts that I would want to add. But very easy to copy paste any parts and the quantity that you would want in here. Another thing to take into consideration is you are able to do valve tagging in here as well, which I'll definitely be going into on a future webinar, but something that Webstore did not have that you are able to do in this new tool. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to upload that to our cart. So we'll upload this file, and then I'll click upload. So as you can see, it came back and said there's an error file that contains all the line items that were not added to your cart. So if you see right here, there's a thing that says error file, and if I click that, it's going to pop up and show me all the parts that weren't added to my cart that had some sort of error with them, and it will give you a reason why, which is super nice to know what you did wrong. So this first part, it did not get added because this product is obsolete and can no longer be ordered, and it says to select an alternative product. So definitely good to know, okay, this part didn't get added and why. And then this bottom one, this part was not found in their cart. So let's say I didn't necessarily know why. I could search in that part search for that product and see why it wasn't. And I know that it wasn't added because there's one too many zeros in this part number. So definitely something really good to know that if you have parts that are incorrect in this mass upload sheet, they will not get added to your cart. So we'll jump back and I'll show you how your cart looks. If I minimize this, as you can see, it added the 3 valves that we had in our cart, the 2 FX controllers, because this account has access to FX, and then the 1 thermostat that we had in our cart as well. So it shows all 6 items that didn't have that error in here. And if you were to eventually want to add those other parts in here, you could add them either on that part search, like I said, or another area that we can look at is this quick order. So I'm going to delete everything out of my cart just to show how this quick order looks. So you're able to add a bunch of parts at one time to your cart, and I would only use this section if you know the part number. Again, only use this section if you know the part number, because it will not add it if the part number is wrong, and I'll show you that. So if I add a couple of parts in here, add 2. Okay, so I entered a couple of parts in here, and then if I press add to cart, so it's telling me that there were a couple of parts that didn't get entered. So it said these SKUs were added, but the following SKUs were not. And that is because they were not typed correctly. So just something to keep in mind that this quick order is only going to work if you have that full part number. Now, kind of similar to that top part search, you are able, if you wait long enough, if I wait long enough, it will actually give me, okay, hey, did you mean any of these part numbers that you were trying to do? So this top one was actually what I was trying to do earlier. So I could add that right here. It's going to give me an option, but I really would only recommend using it if you know that full part number. And now it was added to my cart. One thing to touch on is this left-hand side. It's there. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to trying to look at Order Navigator for price and availability for parts. There's a lot, as you know. You can come in actuators and you could be scrolling forever. It's as if you were to look at shirts on a website. You could be scrolling forever looking for the shirt that you actually wanted to buy. Definitely the easiest option for looking up at parts would be this part search. If you are wanting to browse products, I would definitely recommend looking at the application and going under browse right here, and that will take you to our offerings catalog where you can search through products as well right there. So just something to keep in mind that this is here if you do want to click through it. Definitely not the easiest spot to search through our products, but it is there if you do need it. So from there, that's really all I had for going over the live demo. From here, we're going to move into some Q&As. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to jump them into that questions box, and I'll have my colleague Laura here in the room read off some of those questions to me to get them answered for y'all.
Okay, we've had a few questions come in. I've already answered them privately to you if you sent them in. But I think some of the good questions are good enough to share with the whole team. So one of the questions was, does Navigator show my customer net price or my multiplier?
So it's going to show your customer net price. So if I go into this part, so I'll show you for an example. If I jump into that part, what it's going to be showing you is it will show that list price for it, and then your net price is going to show what your cost is. So we'll have your multiplier times that list price, and that's going to be your actual price in the tool. So hopefully that answers your question. You will see net price as your price and availability.
If I create a quote in the tool, can other users from my company see my quote?
I'm pretty sure no, they cannot. Only you will be able to see that quote in your account because it is held by that user's account, not overall on the whole account. So the only way that you'll be able to see on the whole account is if it is an actual order or that address book.
We also just got a question around custom damper selections and pricing.
So damper pricing and airflow measuring stations right now is not available in Order Navigator. That is something that I am working on with the Navigator team and have brought up with them that we need to get this implemented into the tool. Right now, I don't have a date as to when it will be available, but it is on the roadmap. It is coming. I'm definitely making it a priority on it. If you have a custom damper, where it would be a Ruskin 01, you would do that how you've been doing that before with customer service or your inside sales rep to get that quote. Right now, so for damper pricing as well, we do have the ability to price up in Selection Navigator, which I do plan to show on a future webinar. So you can use that. You just are not able to order the dampers right now in the tool. So if you're trying to do some price and availability, you can go to Selection Navigator, which for those who are unaware, under applications, it's going to be under that configure application. So if you do need to price them up, I would definitely go there, but you will have to enter the order either through EDI or through JCI order.
All right, and we have some questions around how to access product literature.
So product literature is going to be held under, so I go to this applications, it's going to be in that offerings catalog, which I can show you. I'm going to go over to that screen. As I said, Order Navigator did pull in a new tab. So if you go to your dashboard, I have it saved right here, but it's going to be under this browse application, and then you can jump in to that offering catalog, and that right there is going to hold all of our product documentation for our parts. Planning on doing a future webinar on that, so not going to jump into the actual application, but if you are looking for any, it's right here, which makes it really convenient. We do have our knowledge exchange, which holds all of our product documentation as well. But the real point of this tool is to have everything all in one spot so that you are not having to go to a bunch of different spots. Knowledge exchange isn't leaving, so don't worry, but if you do want to have everything all in one area, this offering catalog is going to be the best spot to find product documentation. I am working on with the Navigator team to have product documentation be available through Order Navigator, so you don't have to come over to this offering catalog. So stay tuned for that as we work on getting that in the tool as well.
Another question is around ship dates once you order the parts.
So ship dates should be shown in the tool for orders in the order history. It should be all there and showing you estimated ship dates for your order. If you are having any errors with that, feel free to reach out, but they should be showing your ship dates in the order after you place it.
The last question is similar to the creating a quote. When you create a favorites list, can that be shared with other users in your company?
Unfortunately, it cannot. That is also just on the user level. So if someone else if you want to have multiple people that have the same favorites list, I don't know, you can have a party and make all your favorites lists together. That's really going to be the only way that you'll be able to have favorites lists across.
Question just came in about printing order confirmations with prices. Is that option still available?
Yes, it should be still available after you place the order to have your whole order confirmation right there if you go through the whole process of actually placing the order. And it will get emailed as well to you.
All right, that looks like all the questions that I have at this time.
All right, perfect. So we'll jump back into the presentation real quick. So like I said, I will be holding future training sessions on various things on administrative tasks. Selection Navigator is definitely going to be one that will have a ton of webinars on it just because it is a lot, and offerings catalog is another one that I will be going into. So stay tuned for future sessions that I will be holding on the tool. There is a lot to go over on it, so definitely going to be having a lot to everyone. So stay tuned for those. Another reminder is I do have one more webinar this week, Wednesday. So if you do have any friends or coworkers that weren't able to jump on either the two that I held last week or today, I will be holding one more on Wednesday. So make sure to have them register for that webinar to listen in on how Order Navigator works. And lastly, to wrap everything up, I just wanted to give everyone some resources that they could use. First off, the website, if you don't have that, take note for it right there. It is in my signature on all my emails as well. So definitely go in and favorite that website on your browser to get access to it right away. Navigator tech support, I would definitely, if you have any errors or IT help with the tool that if something's not working, I unfortunately can't solve all those errors or IT myself. So definitely send an email over to that support team, and there's their phone number if you do email them, because they will send you back a case number. To get quicker help, you can definitely call in to that phone number. The next is that controls customer service. So there's customer service email. If you didn't have it already, they can help you with anything pricing or order related that you aren't able to figure out in the tool. Their phone number is there as well. And then also, if you do have any questions or issues with the tool as well, you can reach out to your account manager for your account. If you are unsure on who your account manager is, feel free to reach out to the inside sales team inbox, and they'll be able to point you in the direction of who can help you out. And then lastly, I have my email on there. If you do have any other questions or need something else on it, feel free to give me an email. I can hopefully help you out. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining the webinar. I really do appreciate it. Stay tuned for future webinars.